That is my 1995 Saab convertible. I bought this car in 2003 when it had about 60,000 miles on it, and I have been driving it ever since then. It was my primary car until just recently, and I always took care of it really well because I really loved it and I still love it. It has now 123,000 miles on it and I am ready to sell. These cars, this was the first year of the new Saab convertible. Saab made the convertible, starting in the 80s, and they really know how to make convertibles. And then in 93 they made a very new model, which was really really the same, like all the way into, like, I think to 2002 or 2003. And this is the convertible that was built before Saab was purchased by General Motors. So this car really is highest quality European, stuff. I mean, everything in there is really well made, and expensive components in it. People really like these cars, me including it. Never gives me a problem. Everything works mechanically. The newer Saabs that were built after, I think, 96 or 97 were built by General Motors, and they went through this car and just took all the components out and replaced them with cheaper parts. They still look the same, but they are not the same. These cars can run for a very long time. They do it with grace. It has a 4-cylinder engine, which is the better of the two different engines. It came out with a 6-cylinder engine that had some issues, but the 4-cylinder engine has about 170 horsepower. It's a very good machine. You can see there is some fading in the paint here, and there is some fading in the whatever this is. It's not plastic, but there is some fading in here, and clearly some scratches on the paint. What I would do if I would keep this car, I would bring it down, and I can hook you guys up with somebody down in Redwood City who is going to be able to probably give you a brand new paint job for less than $1,000, and then you have a car that looks brand new. At the moment, some of the paint is still in really good shape, and some of it starts to fade due to sun, to the sun exposure. And it's really the only spot that's kind of not so great is this area here on the left side of the hood. But overall, it's still a really sharp looking car. The roof is kind of almost brand new because somebody slashed into it. There was a new roof with a new glass window in here. Let's check it out from inside. It has leather seats. Inside, when you sit inside, it does smell really well in here. There is no like pungent bad smell in it. It's clean. I always kept it clean, and the seats do have cracking in them. It's kind of normal for this age, especially for convertibles. I get a little bit more sun exposure. So both seats, the one I'm sitting on and this one, looks very similar. They have cracks on them. The back seats are perfect because nobody ever sits there, so they are perfect. The top goes up and down whenever you want to. Let me start the engine for a moment. Starts right up. Starts right up even after I have the car sometimes sitting for a few weeks. Recently I had that, and it always immediately starts up. I have a check engine light on right now, but I'm going to fix this before I sell the car. It's actually just something that has to be reset. It's no issue. One brake light is missing, that needs to be replaced. So mechanically the car, it's in really good shape. The transmission is shifting really smoothly and like new. The engine runs without any issues, and it has always run without any issues. And the roof goes up and down by pushing this button. The car has heated seats. which work okay. They don't work like as nice anymore as in the beginning, but they work still okay. The roof comes up, folds out automatically, the roof comes down, and then you are open. And this is how the car looks like out the roof. It's a really nice looking car. It's really fun to drive because you really don't have much wind when you're driving it, and but you have the exactly right amount of wind. You still have some wind going through the hair, you know. It's not like some of the convertibles where you don't feel it all anymore. The wind here, you can still feel it a little bit. And as I said, about 170 horsepower, which is really plenty for this kind of a car. It drives more like a European car. It's really sticking to the road. It's basically a sports car in terms of the suspension. Has a great sound system. So the only things that are not working, the interior, there are no electronic issues outside, but the interior has some electronic issues. The inside light goes on and off. I really never wanted to fix it because this kind of stuff is not necessary, and you know, it's an older car, so it makes no sense to spend a lot of money on this. It doesn't really impede with any of the functionality of the car. One thing I would fix if I would keep the car is air conditioning and heating works just wonderful, but these little buttons here are broken. They're really broken. They need to be replaced on both sides, but it all works. It's just it needs to be replaced. At the moment you have to adjust them by hand, which is not so easy to do, so I would get these replaced. And something is going on with the radio, which is you might have to replace the radio if you want to listen to it. It doesn't really work at this point. It has just started recently. Maybe somebody can fix it. Maybe you can probably get a replacement part on eBay kind of cheaply. The sound actually is really good, otherwise I'm a private